Pozëmka is a 6-star heavy shooter sniper who's only available through headhunting. It was originally released alongside Gavial the Invincible and the Great Axe and Pen Nib banner that occurred during the Ideal City event. Pozëmka, real name Avdotya Nikolaevna Ivanova, and going by the name Avdyota Razorpen, has no combat experience whatsoever, though she has witnessed the horrors of war and bloodshed personally. She stands at 177 centimeters tall, was born on the 15th of March in Ursus to a noble family, and is of the Lupo race. In her archive files and promotion record, it's noted that Poz is the literature rep of Zeru Urtsa, and played a crucial role in persuading the Durans to evacuate Akahula. Poz is cautious around non-Duran ops, and while courteous, will never reveal something unnecessary. All ops who went to Zeru Urtsa know of her backstory, but avoid the subject. After a long amount of time passed, Poz briefly talked about her past. She used to be the daughter of an Ursus noble, but all her family members died one after another due to a political conspiracy. She was fortunate enough to survive and stumbled upon Zeru Urtsa. Since then, she lived in her newfound home for years, where she became prejudiced against non-Duran, surface dwellers, and enjoyed the company of Durans more. The love of the Duran people is shown in how she treats Duran ops. According to Operator Minimalist, this wasn't how she was in Zeru Urtsa, where she enjoyed strolls, sitting alone, or writing. When she came aboard Rhodes Island, she began paying close attention to how the Duran ops led their life. The reason why is that Poz believes that, though Rhodes is nice, it will never fulfill the needs of the Duran like Zeru Urtsa. She eventually stopped being so overbearing, but she still enjoys spending time with the Duran ops. As the literature rep, Poz has created a large amount of advertising and packaging copy in Zeru Urtsa, which stood out from the competition due to her use of exoticism and organized language. Poz also writes different forms of literature in her spare time, such as poems, novels, and plays, when not working on her commercial writings. The two sides of her writing, the fanciful marketing versus the gory literature, seems contradictory, using a typewriter for marketing and fountain pen for personal projects. Her weapons are derived from typewriters and pens as well, with her crossbow coming from a miscommunication of her wanting a fountain pen, and her typewriter being modded by engineers from Rhodes. Her fourth archive file is a recorded conversation between Pozëmka and Istina. The two discuss the literature that Poz has written, with Istina commenting on how all of Poz's personal works are related to her time in Ursus, wanting to cut ties with her homeland, the relationships they had, and the cruelty they faced. Istina floats the idea of Poz returning to Ursus to possibly take her literature to new heights before getting honey drunk on non-alcoholic mead. Her promotion record is a classified log, most likely being journal entries from Poz from the 18th of January to the 14th of February. She's acting as Rhodes Island's rep to different Lord Emirs of Sargon, in particular this specific area, with the tribes there fighting over a water source. An armistice is called, but only due to the Lord Emir applying pressure. They come across a very destitute infected settlement, with the Lord Emir only commenting that if there were any infected living under his rule, they must be buried alive. A patient under their care was thinking of killing herself at the water source to poison the water, but walks off into the desert, never to return. Poz is confirmed to be uninfected. She has a cell originum assimilation of 0% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.12 parts per liter. Poz rarely comes into contact with originum or other sources of infection. In her character art drawn by Tu Zenji, Poz wears a tight-fitting black dress, red corset with many straps, and long, red, flowing pieces of fabric. A white collared shawl with a black belt and red wax stamp or rose keeping the shawl together. Black arm warmers with her left hand being fully gloved while the right hand is only partially. A hair ornament, a fountain pen in one of her pockets, pen nibs on her belt, straps around her thigh, a knee pad, and black ankle strap toeless sandals. She holds a letter in her right hand and her modified typewriter crossbow in her left hand. In her voice lines, voiced by Chika Anzai, who also voices Reina Kosaka in Sound Euphonium, Chise Asukagawa in SSSS Dynazenon, Chisato Nishikigi in Lycoris Recoil, Shitori in Grand Blue, and PM06 and SAR-21 in GFL, Paz, unsurprisingly, likes to talk about Durans.
ゼルウェルツァの匠に初めて万年筆の制作を依頼した折に得たのがこのクロスボウですの。わらわの説明不足で平和を愛するドゥリン族の方に兵器を作らせたなんて罪深いことをしましたわ。天人家さん？大将軍。あれは子供のおままご。いえ、彼女の個人的な思考ですわ。率直な物言いをお許しくださいまし。ロドスはドゥリン族のオペレーターによりふさわしい仕事と生活環境を整えるべきですわ。少なくともお食事の内容は投票で決定すべきで、皆様、非常に満足されている？ありえませんわ。直接伺ってまいります。あなた、いえ、人に騙されてはいけませんから。わらわにスローガンやキャッチコピーを考案してほしい。喜んで、ゼルウェルツァでも似たような類のお仕事をしていましたの。タイプライターが1台あれば十分ですわ。どうしてペンを使わないのかって？あれは、どちらかといえば、個人的なものを書く際に使用するのです。その、ドゥリン的でないものを書くときに、わらわは未だに、地上の暮らしはドゥリンの地下都市に及ばないと考えておりますわ。でも、認めねばなりませんわね。廃墟の中で、けなげに花開く可憐な一輪は、ドゥリン族の温室でほころぶ大輪に、勝るとも劣らぬ生命力がございます。はあ、これほどの時が経っても、わらわはやはり、骨の髄まで地上の人間ですのね。貴族？その通りでしてよ。わらわはかつて貴族でしたわ。陰謀に家族を奪われ、命からがら、どうにか地下のゼルウェルツァに逃れるまではね。あそこには強欲な貴族はおりませんし、混乱に乗じて強盗を働く民もおりません。いるのは、善良なドゥリンの方たちだけですわ。これ以上、どのような贅沢を望めましょうか。ありえませんわ。あなた方はドゥリンの子たちにも、このように野蛮な映像を見せていますの？
At E2 with max trust, potential, and module, Paz has 1,972 HP, 1,051 attack, 223 defense, 0 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 18 DP cost, and a 1.6 second attack speed. Her range is the standard range of a heavy shooter sniper, which is the exact same as an AoE caster's range. At max trust, she gets plus 70 attack and plus 30 defense. At max pot, she gets minus 2 DP cost, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, plus 30 attack, and a buff to her second talent. Her first talent, Automatic Typewriter, at E2, allows Paz to summon a typewriter for 25 seconds. The typewriter has the exact same skill as Paz and its own redeployment time. The typewriter has 866 or 936 attack and a 40-second redeploy time when at E2 max level, and maximum module level. Its range is the 3 tiles in front of it. Her second talent, which is unlocked at E2, Stenographer of Weakness, at E2 Pot 4, has attacks from the typewriter reduce the target's defense by 20% for 5 seconds. If the typewriter is placed in the 4 tiles above, below, or beside Paz, the target's defense is reduced by 25% for 5 seconds. Paz has 2 base skills, with one being unlocked at E2. Her first base skill, Sales Promotion, when she's assigned to a trading post, for every 1 pure gold production line, acquisition efficiency plus 5%. Her second base skill, Zero Urza Resident, when Paz is assigned to a trading post, for every 1 Duran Op in the base, max of 4, trading posts gain 1 pure gold production line. Poz's first skill, I Am, gains SP from attacking and is automatically triggered, starting with 0 SP at all levels and lasting indefinitely at all levels. At level 7, it needs 25 SP to proc, while at M3 it needs 20. At level 7, Poz gets plus 50% attack, and when attacking, she has a 30% chance to deal 160% damage. At M3, she gets plus 60 attack and has a 40% chance to deal 225 damage. Her second skill, Précise, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. At level 7, it starts with 6 SP and needs 10 SP to proc. At M3, it starts with 9 and needs 9 to proc. Précise can only be procced if there is an enemy in range. At level 7, passively, the redeployment time of the typewriter is reduced to 60% or 24 seconds. Actively, she immediately attacks 3 times in front of herself, with each attack dealing 200% attack as physical damage, and can store 2 charges. At M3, the redeployment time of the typewriter is reduced by 50% or 20 seconds. Actively, it's 3 times for 230% attack and stores 2 charges. Her third skill, Opprobrium, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. At level 7, it starts with 19 SP and needs 39 SP to proc and lasts 27 seconds. At M3, it starts with 23, needs 35, and lasts for 30 seconds. At level 7, Poz's range expands, her attack interval is reduced to 1 second, and her attack deals 170% damage or 215% damage to the enemies in the 3 tiles in front of her. At M3, each attack deals 200% damage or 255% in the 3 tiles in front of her. Poz has an ARC-Y module called Typewriter Ribbon, making it so that she increases attack to 105% when attacking enemies directly in front of her, and ignores their physical dodge. At module level 3, Typewriter Ribbon buffs automatic typewriter, making it so that her typewriter now has plus 70 attack. She also gets plus 170 max HP and plus 75 attack. To unlock and max out her module, you must have Pozëmka at E2 level 60, have 100% trust with her, summon a total of 10 typewriters, 3-star 2-10 having Pozëmka or typewriter defeat Skull Shatterer, have 12 module data blocks, 60 data patching strips, 20 data patching devices, 2 bipolar nanoflakes, 3 crystalline electronic units, 4 polymerization preparations, and 300,000 LMD. For a heavy shooter, Pozëmka is quite high up there. High attack, a turret she can place anywhere that has a range deployable space, further increasing her reach, an S1 that gives her a big damage boost that is infinite, an S2 that allows her turrets to redeploy quicker, and an S3 that ups her DPS range and lasts a fair amount of time for a comparably low SP cost. Her second talent also has the typewriter reduce the defense of its targets when placed nearby Poz. Her module allows her to hit enemies with physical dodge, and if you have a boss staying in one place for an extended period of time, or coming down a lane, Poz can easily do a good chunk of damage against them, especially with her typewriters, and her typewriters also have the same skill as her, though a thinner range. Honestly though, I seldom ever see anyone use heavy shooters. The only time I've ever seen people use them is the minimalist boss fight using Pozëmka and the Deegan Breacher boss fight using Schwartz. Compared to other types of snipers, such as the single target marksman or AoE artilleryman, who have clear purposes in my opinion, heavy shooters are kinda stuck in this weird middle ground, where they have an incredibly small range but do a ton of damage to a single target, so maybe it's like boss killers. Poz basically works around using her second self, the typewriter, to do more damage than other heavy shooters, such as Schwartz. Her S1 is offensive recovery, meaning you'll need to hit an enemy roughly 20 to 25 times to get it to proc. Her S2 does minimal damage and can't be procced unless there's an enemy in Poz's range, not the typewriters I assume, and she may struggle to find placement on some maps to make full use of both her and her typewriter, doubly so for getting enemies in those 3 tiles in front of her and the typewriter. Overall, I'd give Pause a medium to maybe medium high priority to raise and build. For general use, I don't see her getting used all that much against standard enemies, but against bosses and specialized enemies, she'll have her time to shine with her turrets. Just make sure there's enough room for both. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane content as well. There will be a teaser out sometime in the future for special videos coming soon.